Let's travel back for a moment. Picture the year 1972. Math teachers across the country are looking at a new piece of technology with deep suspicion. It's a small, handheld device that can do arithmetic in the blink of an eye, the calculator. For many educators, this little box felt like a threat to the very foundations of learning. They worried students would forget how to do long division. Their minds would turn to mush. The very discipline of mathematics would crumble. They thought the only answer was to ban it. Sound familiar? Today, we are standing in the middle of our own calculator moment, but this time, the device is ChatGPT, and it doesn't just solve for X. It writes the entire word problem. It writes the essay about the word problem. It even writes a little poem about the number 7. When this technology exploded onto the scene in late 2022, the reaction from the education world was swift and a little panicked. It was like a substitute teacher walking into a class that has already replaced all the chalk with sticks of butter. Major school districts, New York City, Los Angeles, threw up the digital barricades. So, the first instinct for many school leaders was to build a wall, block the website. Problem solved, right? Well, not quite. The reality of a school-wide ban on a tool like ChatGPT is that it functions more like a flimsy garden fence than an impenetrable fortress. Students, as we all know, are remarkably resourceful, especially when it comes to getting around digital restrictions. If the school Wi-Fi blocks a site, they simply switch to their phone's data plan. If the network is locked down, they can use a VPN to tunnel out. And of course, the most powerful tool of all remains completely untouched by school policy: the computer they use at home. The ban doesn't stop AI use, it just pushes it underground, out of sight. This creates a hidden world of academic work, where teachers have no visibility into the tools students are using. Instead of creating an environment of trust and open dialogue, the ban fosters a culture of don't ask, don't tell. Students who use AI to help with their homework feel like they are breaking a rule, even if they are using it constructively for brainstorming or outlining. This discourages them from asking teachers for guidance on how to use these tools ethically and effectively. The ban effectively turns every student with a smartphone into a potential rule breaker, and every teacher into a potential detective. It's a game of cat and mouse that serves no one. With bans proving to be porous, the next logical step for many schools was to invest in a digital bloodhound, the AI detector. A whole industry popped up seemingly overnight, promising tools that could sniff out text written by a machine. The idea was seductive. If you can't stop students from using AI, you can at least catch them after the fact. You run a student's essay through the software, it gives you a score: 98% human, 5% AI. Case closed. The problem is, these detectors are less like a seasoned Sherlock Holmes and more like a clumsy Inspector Clouseau. They are notoriously unreliable. Relying on them can cause more harm than good. The biggest issue is false positives. Software flags writing as AI generated when it was written by a human. This happens often, especially with English language learners, or students with a formulaic direct writing style. Imagine an honest student accused of cheating because of a flawed algorithm. The damage to confidence and trust can be immense and long-lasting. On the flip side, detectors are also prone to false negatives. They can be easily fooled, change some vocabulary, restructure a few sentences, and don't worry, and the detector will clear it as human written. This is a battle schools are destined to lose. AI models evolve at a breathtaking pace, and detectors are always playing catch-up. As one teacher said, relying on detectors feels like trying to catch rain in a sieve. For every one I think I catch, 10 others slip through, and I'm probably accusing innocent kids. So if bans don't work and detectors are unreliable, where do we go from here? We can't just throw up our hands and declare a free-for-all. We need a framework that is clear, easy to understand, flexible enough to adapt to different subjects and assignments. We need a policy that empowers teachers and students rather than criminalizing them. The solution is a traffic light policy. It's a simple metaphor that everyone, students, teachers, parents, administrators, can grasp immediately. Just like on the road, the colors tell you what to do. Red means stop, yellow means proceed with caution, green means go. This system moves the conversation away from if you can use AI to how and when. The beauty of the traffic light policy is its simplicity and clarity. For any given assignment, the teacher can label it with one of the 3 colors. This designation immediately sets the expectations for AI use. There is no ambiguity. A student looking at an assignment labeled with a red light knows instantly that AI is off limits. An assignment with a yellow light signals that AI can be used as a helper for specific parts of the process, but not for the final product. A green light gives students the freedom to use AI as a full-fledged tool, provided they are transparent about it. This approach makes academic integrity a shared responsibility, not a mystery to be solved. This framework restores autonomy to the teacher. Educators know their subjects and their students best. A history teacher might designate an in-class essay on the causes of World War I as a red light task to assess core knowledge. A yellow light research project, where students use AI to brainstorm primary sources. And a green light task, where they use AI to help script a short documentary video. Section 8. A new honor code. From who wrote it to do you know it? For generations, our academic honor codes have been built around a very simple, fundamental question. Did you write this? The concept of plagiarism was straightforward, presenting someone else's words, ideas. But generative AI has scrambled this definition. A student can now generate an entire essay with a single prompt. They didn't technically write it in the traditional sense, and they also didn't copy it from another human. This new reality requires a profound shift in how we think about academic integrity. We need to evolve our honor codes by asking a better, more relevant question. Do you understand this? This new question moves the focus from authorship to ownership, intellectual ownership. It doesn't matter as much who typed the words. What matters is whether the student has internalized the concepts, can defend the arguments, can explain the ideas in their own terms. This shift requires a change in our assessment methods. Instead of relying solely on the final written product, we need to evaluate the student's process and understanding. Oral assessments, short in-class check-ins, process reflections. It's about verifying the learning, not just the text. A teacher could assign a take-home yellow light essay, then hold brief conferences. What was most challenging? Can you explain how this evidence supports your thesis? We are asking students not just to produce work, but to be able to stand behind it, explain it, prove that they have genuinely learned something. Section 9. Bridging the Gap. AI Equity and Your Next Move. As we create these new rules of the road, we have to address a major pothole: equity. Not all AI tools are created equal, and not all students have equal access to them. GPT 3.5, base, free. GPT-4 and successors, premium paywall. These premium tools can provide more nuanced answers, better writing, and more sophisticated analysis. If school policies allow or encourage AI, we risk a new digital divide. AI haves versus have-nots. Imagine a green light project. One student uses the free AI, generic. Another uses premium, detailed and structured. Side by side, quality gap. Schools must address this gap proactively. Provide institutional access to premium tools, site licenses, shared portals, or lab logins. If purchasing licenses isn't feasible, design assignments around free tools' capabilities. The key is to be intentional and ensure that no student is disadvantaged by a policy meant to help them. The journey begins by acknowledging that AI is not a temporary crisis, but a permanent change in our educational landscape. It's a new form of literacy that we must teach. The first practical step is to form an AI task force. Teachers, administrators, IT staff, librarians, parents, and, most importantly, students. Review current policies and honor code, then create your school's traffic light policy with curriculum-relevant examples. Plan annual reviews. Provide training for teachers on AI-assisted assignments and for students on prompt engineering and ethical use. Communicate clearly and frequently with families. The calculator moment taught us that banning a useful tool is a losing strategy. Let's not make the same mistake again. Let's teach our students to think, to create, and to thrive in a world where human intelligence is amplified, not replaced, by machine intelligence. AI is a literacy. Form your AI task force and start writing the rulebook, together.